How are we doing today, Chicago Cubs fans? And we are back with another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. Let's not even fray and let's hop right into today's subject. The Cubs are back in action, and we'll give you a Game 1 preview of their matchup against the Nationals. But let's talk about a few key things that happened over the course of this past week. Now, is a PCA extension likely to happen here early on in the year? I'm not 100% sure on this, but we have confirmed and heard from Jed Hoyer himself that he is open to negotiation with Pete Crow Armstrong. He said in an interview that the not negotiating during the season is a player-focused thing, so they can focus on the season at hand, which is totally understandable. But Jed said, hey, this is my job, this is my livelihood, I am open to negotiating a deal. And obviously the Cubs have exclusive access to talk to young Pete Crow Armstrong, and they have a few more years of control as well. But this is the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, that the Cubs need to take advantage of. No matter what the Cubs are able to sign Pete Crow Armstrong for right now is going to be cheaper than what he is going to cost on the free agent market. Let me say that again. If the Cubs can get him on a 7-8 year deal worth $200 million, let's say, right? That's going to be a great deal, because if he reaches free agency in a few years, he's going to be on the 5 to 6 year deal, and it's going to probably be over $250 million if he continues to play the way he has been playing. He's been absolutely sensational. Over 15 home runs, over 15 stolen bases, hitting 280, and again, maybe one of the most underrated part of his games is that platinum glove defense. Yes, not gold, it's platinum. Honestly, we're just waiting for the award to be officially his, because he's just that dynamic in center field. If you guys saw the game on Saturday, he had an absolutely great sliding catch to make the play. I'm not sure how many center fielders make that play, and I definitely know there are not many that make that play look so easy. A new stat that they've been talking about here in baseball is catchability, a catchability percentage. He has some of the lowest catchability percentages in all of baseballs on balls hit to him all season long. Even some balls that were less than 3%, he was able to go out and track down. You gotta lock the kid up. I'm honestly, again, you gotta give him that Julio Franco deal, that Bobby Witt Jr. deal. Those guys are on fantastic deals for their organizations, right? The Cubs, they want to operate like those teams, but they want the brand of the big teams. So this is the perfect middle way for them to strike and get a player like PCA locked up for a very long time, okay? Again, in my opinion, a 8 to 10 year deal for $250 million is going to be very, very respectable for a player like PCA with his potential. Just a caveat, my favorite deal the Cubs have ever made, still to this day, was Jorge Soler way back in the day. They signed him for 9 years, $30 million. Not per year, total. $30 million total. An absolutely great deal. So no matter what Jorge Soler did for the Cubs, you know he was going to be worth it. I think signing PCA to that kind of deal where he's only being paid, $20 to $25 million a year is going to be worth it for the Chicago Cubs team. So will a PCA extension get done? I absolutely hope so, and I'm imagining you guys hope so as well. I'm not 100% sure, but every time he steps onto the field, that price continues to go up and up, which is crazy to think about, because he's just having a jump-off season, and he's absolutely electric, and I love watching him play, and I need to make sure that he's playing center field for the Chicago Cubs for a very long time. Let's give an injury update on our main man, Kyle Tucker, who did hurt his right ring finger on Sunday, sliding into second base. Ironically, it was the first time he was caught in over a year. I think it was since the beginning of 2024. Kyle Tucker was like 28 of 28 from stolen base attempts, and honestly, he got caught and he jammed his finger, but the x-rays came back negative, which is a great sign. You don't want this guy to get hurt, because obviously he's a gigantic domino in this Cubs offense, right? When Kyle Tucker's in the lineup, Say is better, Michael Busch is better, PCA is better, even Ian Happ is better. So we need him in the lineup. If he needs a day off, that's totally understandable, but happy that came back negative. He's even feeling confident about it. He came into the locker room after the game on Sunday and said, hey, this looks worse than it is. So happy to hear that about Kyle Tucker, and happy that he will hopefully be back either tonight against the Nationals or, tomorrow or the next game. The Cubs offense could survive a game without him. We just cannot lose him for an extended period of time. There's no doubt about that. Let's talk about another up-and-coming young prize prospect, our main man, Cade Horton, ladies and gentlemen. It's fun watching the growth happen right before your very eyes, right? That first time he pitched in New York, he did give up 3 runs, but again, not all runs are created equal, right? It was a one-swing deal. 1 swing of the bat, 3 runs came across the plate. I've watched him learn how to work out of situations. I've watched the swing and miss stuff. It's been absolutely a blessing to see. Now, he's going back on the bump tonight against the Nationals, and I'm really, really excited about this matchup because the Nationals are not your average 28-31 team. Cade's going to have a challenge, in my opinion, tonight, and I'm kind of curious to see how he reacts to that struggle, potentially. He's going to face a lot of good young offensive players, but again, he's growing in confidence. He's starting to figure it out as a major leaguer, and I hope that the Cubs continue to let him blossom because that would mean the Cubs could potentially go 3 for 3 in filling gigantic needs that this roster has needed all season long, right? We needed another superstar back. PCA is growing into it. We needed to figure out how to fill out third base. Matt Shaw, ever since he's been called up, looks like he has figured it out. And if Cade Horton can come in and help supplement this starting rotation and maybe become a top 3 pitcher for this staff, maybe not this year, but next year and so on down the line, then the Cubs have done their job, and the minor leaguers, the top prospects, are truly, truly growing and developing at the pace we want them to. But again, it's about watching each start, because he's going to make mistakes, right? I guarantee there's going to be some mistakes made tonight. I love watching him adjust and figure it out right there on the fly. So, Game 1 is tonight in Washington. And again, like I just said, this is not an average 28-31 team. This team, the Nationals, you got to be careful with them, ladies and gentlemen. You're like, oh, Steven, the Nationals. When they traded Juan Soto a few years ago, they didn't just get nothing in return, right? They got I believe he's the Major League strikeout leader currently, Mackenzie Gore. We're not facing him tonight, but we could be facing him here in the next few days. They also got C.J. Abrams. He's their starting shortstop. And last year, he was an absolute menace on the paths and hitting as well. He's having a solid start to the year. Their top 2 prospects, though, in this deal, James Woods and Robert Hassel III, are both up, and and James Wood is on a great start. Trust me, he is going to be a superstar in this game, and Horton is going to have to be careful with him tonight. No doubt about it. Cubs are facing Mr. Williams. He's 3-5 with a 5.69 ERA. Hopefully this offense is able to get to him quickly, and they can strike often and early and give Cade Horton that offensive support that they truly need in this game. So I'm very excited to watch the Cubs tonight. Again, it's going to be at 5:45 Eastern Time. Cade Horton versus Williams. The offense is going to be rolling. The good thing about the Cubs is that a lot of the players on the roster have experience against Williams, so hopefully that can play benefit because no one in Washington has seen Cade Horton yet because it's literally his 5th big league appearance and his 4th big league start. But he's 2-0 with a 3.98 ERA, and that ERA keeps going south, south, and south, which is exactly what you love to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it today for Cubs Daily. Again, thank you to all who like the videos, you subscribe to the channel. Keep on commenting your thoughts. I want to hear from everybody, and I'll be back tomorrow with another one. Peace.